Okay guys, yeah, look at this. Just moving trucks and getting everything out of the way. We are done. I want to do a pretty detailed bid, so this might take a minute. All the doors were painted, 2 coats. Isn't that gorgeous? I like the two-tone of the door. We could get in the glass, but once we do that, that seal's broken. So yeah, we'll discuss that on the telephone if you want us to take apart those doors. We started to look at them, then we went online and looked as well. Once the doors come out, there's a seal in them that can be extremely problematic, leak water. Yeah, so I felt we should probably talk to you about it, and if we decide when we do the stem wall, we can touch them. But in actuality, they kind of look pretty darn cool. I mean, they're shielded in glass, but it looks pretty awesome. So, with that said, let's look at this. So we went through all the fascia, got 2 coats. All of the clear natural stain got 3 coats. We had to mask plastic all the way down. Lights were removed, put back on. Like I said, doors are painted. Lights are back up. All that stuff. The house is how we got it. So the situation in there, inside, is not locked. But everything else is locked up. The garage door into the house is not locked. So, deck, I went ahead and I two-toned it like we did in the back. I did the solid, like the fascia on the belly band beam, this beam, and I did the tops in the stain. So that's gonna look really nice when it dries. Door we got, but it might, you know, we tried our best. It needs to be refinished, unfortunately, but we can't really refinish those doors. Because it's a laminate, so as soon as you start cutting into it, you start seeing high and low marks. So take a look. We tried to do some filler. I can still see the scratches, unfortunately, if I look correctly, but we did put 2 coats of spar on it. We'll probably end up putting some more spar on it later on, just because the more spar the better. But it is protected, but unfortunately, unless we belt sand that door down and refinish it, take it off and put it on sawhorses, and even then, that is not going to look very good. So we'll wait for your advice on that. Well, basically what we did is we did what the job entailed on the contract, and that's we lightly sanded, we got in, we put 2 coats of spar. Some things it's just, it's basically impossible for us to get to. Again, we did get the outside of the beams. There is a lot of clear silicone sprayed and stuff, but my suggestion would be that on a couple of these, like that one right there, we don't use silicone. We have your pest guy put the wasp stuff, because if we seal that up, there's some large wasp nests in this house, and if we do, they will burrow into the home, and that's exactly what they do. Okay, so for the record, these guys too, we painted all those for you, and we painted the next one up as well. I'll show you that, and the one in the back. I thought it just looked really good with I mean, it just looks better than that old white cheesy torn up. This place looks good. Boy, everybody and their brother has stopped to tell us that. So you're gonna see some shiny stuff because we decided, since we don't have anything else to do, that it's 500 degrees out, so we went through and we put some more stain on the building today, just in places that I thought would dry out first. So some places have 5 coats of stain, so yay. It kind of is what it is. It is what it is. So then we went ahead and did these as well. We painted these boxes and the pipes. That wasn't on the bid, but it looks a lot better. When you drive up, you don't see the old gray. Here's an example. There's some wet stuff there. Two-tone looks really nice. That was a good addition. We tried to save you some money on it, but holy moly, that's a mean thing to do. Okay, Joyce, outside of these, I'm going to go ahead and leave this plywood here for a minute. You're welcome to use it. I was just going to throw it away. When you're done, you tell me, I'll come get it and pitch it. It just might come in really handy for you to work on it while you guys are working on the deck, and it would just sit in my shop or go to the dump because it's about that time. So posts done in the rustic brown. Main joists and steps were done in the semi-solid. All materials that we've used are in the actual garage as well. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? How's your beam? A lot better, huh? Unfortunately, the sun will probably eventually get a hold of it some more, but yeah, I mean, so there's major wasp nests in pretty much all through the roof. So what I would suggest is when the pest guy comes, you know, he'll go through, and they use a caulking that's actually kills them. And so I'm kind of worried about sealing them in, and you going, hey, I came up there and there was like 500 wasps. There's only 2 places that we would have done that. So if need be, just call me and I'll come do it. I won't charge you. It takes me all of about 15 minutes to do them. So just let me know. So here's the back trim, as I explained. Some of it just had marks in the wood that it's just, that's been there too long. There's just no way. I mean, we sanded, we pretty much tried to attack and everything we could. But this is the trick. This did what we wanted it to do. Again, steps were done. And then the main beam, all these guys too. Some of these guys are probably going to need some new lag bolts, but you knew that. Oh, this was a monster. So much stain. So if you do decide to come up this weekend, don't smoke outside for a couple days. This was a lot of material. A lot more than we thought it would be, but it was totally worth it. So what you're seeing, the shiny down there, that's because it hasn't dried. Today we did that whole part, that whole wall all the way up and down again, because we weren't happy with the way that it was, it had dried out. It got 3 coats and it just dried out really bad, but that area got hit very heavily by the sun. So like in here, that looks a little darker right there. That will dry and match. It won't be that way. But there was like a weird area right in here that for some reason. Man door was done. I figured you're going to replace that anyway because it's chewed up, but we still painted it up. Same thing through here. Oh, and then there's up there's a grid. Great airflow. We painted that as well for you. I just like to make those things look good. And it just, I think that's I don't know. I think the whole idea is to try to make it look as nice as possible. So, again with the doors. Let me step out to the road and get some pictures and let you see the doors. We could probably do it. I think to take one of those windows apart took us about 20 minutes for each one. And it's going to be 2 coats of paint in there. So, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the way it looks. It's kind of a cool contrast. You guys decide though, and if need be, we can do it. But I want you to sign off on it because it's I just don't want to have a situation where I'm like, hey, so yeah, your garage door's ruined because water just sent through there and rotted out the inside of it. And I don't know what it's filled with. It looked like foam. So. Get away from the truck here. Now look at this monstrosity. So there you go. That is one big, massive house. So thank you guys. I'll go ahead, send an invoice, and then like as we normally do, invoice will come to you, and then feel free, just whatever, you guys can drop us a check, however you want to pay, and then let me know when you're going to be here, and I'd like to walk the building with you again, and we can talk about the stem wall and do like an inspection, you know, like just to make sure you guys are happy. The invoice will also be your warranty information as well. Not that you really need it. I take care of people if they ever have any issues, but pretty rare on stuff like this. We already knew what we were doing color-wise, so we should be pretty good. But thank you very much again, and not only for the work, but the really cool sunburn. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. All right.